Favorite album?
Favorite album of all time?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I will have to go with Stardust by Danny Brown.
So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up. So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up. Check.
I wanna know what you see in it. I wanna know what you need from me.
So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up. So you know what's check. Boss of the world. So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up. So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up.
So I've never listened to Danny Brown, and not really into rap all that much, but this new album, Stardust by Danny Brown, this album cover, I think, is probably one of the really first good album covers I've seen in years. And it's like, you know, when I don't even like the artist, or really, I don't listen to them, I don't even think I've listened to any of their songs, I don't like them, but I can recognize this is a good album cover. I think it says something. Like, really, this is like one of the first good album covers I've seen in years. Like, it's got aura. This is an album cover with aura. White background, shaded out at the top, the cowboy boots, the bracelet, the hair, the shadow in the background. This album cover has aura. Maybe I should listen to it.
I wanna know what you see in it. I wanna know what you need from me.
Rap star, pop star, rock star. Give me that rap star, pop star, rock star. Give me that rap star, pop star, rock star. Give me that. Come by it honestly. What the hell is wrong with me?
Hey, Merc, just seem like it's all ain't enough for you. No matter what I do, I can never get ahead. All about you, can you get it to your head? Got me seeing red, but I think it's clear as day. If it don't work on you, it'll never be okay. Trying to do what I can, but tell me where I stand. Lay down a foundation and ripped up the plans, trying to see that light, but I know.
Danny Brown really brings out the best of his features on this new album, Stardust, as it combines some really interesting hyperpop type production with some introspective lyricism that we've seen on his prior projects. And this whole album really is characterized by the feature list. It has the likes of Jane Remover, Underscores, Quedeca, and a bunch of other hyperpop adjacent artists. And we've seen Danny Brown in this type of music before with Jane Remover, Frost Children, and some others. But this album really proves that he can fit into this style of music and do it really well. I do think it does take a lot of inspiration from these artists, especially Underscores on the song Copycats. That song is really similar to her style. But Danny Brown does a really good job of making it his own, and the features on this album are great as well.
It's like PS1 fighting game menu music. Stardust by Danny Brown. It feels like anime, but black, but anime, if that makes sense. He was rapping on here, but that's about all it was. Him rapping on whatever the fuck. It's a lot of castles in the sky, drum and bass, white folks tunes that his voice works with, but it's just not that quality white folk stuff that used to hit in the early 2010s. It's chaotic, it's very drug forward, and just a bit much. When he slows it down, he cooks, but when it's too experimental, it's just not as good as things out there. Build this on if you truly need something different and like that weird shit, but also had a full-on rave timeline in your life. If you're looking for something more hip-hop forward at minimum, this is probably not it.
Honestly, I just listened to Stardust by Danny Brown, and honestly, here's my review. Honestly, some very interesting but yet solid production from maybe some of these lesser-known artists, like Underscores and Quedeca, even having some Fentanyl and Jane Remover on the album as well. Overall, this album is very interesting. It's sort of all over the place with sort of the genres it messes with. Got some interesting rock elements in there, some pop, glitchcore, some interesting sort of piano strip-back songs. And honestly, I do kind of admire the risk this album is kind of taking, and for that reason, I'm kind of feeling a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10. While yes, I enjoyed the risk, there was just some tracks that didn't really stick with me personally and didn't really get into my head. But that's just me personally. Tell me what you guys think down below in this comment section. Danny Brown, Stardust, be honest in the comments, of course.
I wanna know what you see in it. I
give me that rock star, pop star, rock star, give me that rock star, pop star, rock star, give me that.
Get what you want, not what you ask for. Say no money, that's what I stand for. It ain't that deep, the beat, so you know what's up. Double down and double up. So you know what's up. Double down and double up. I don't know where to go with us. Break me down, lift you up. So you know what's up.
Alternative experimental rapper Danny Brown just dropped a new solo album called Stardust, and it's a wild listen from start to finish. And one of the first things that jumped out to me was the feature list, as it's stacked with hyperpop and digicore artists that are all a part of a similar wave of younger musicians that are pushing the boundaries of creating the most experimental music that we've heard within the past couple of years. And so seeing Danny work with these newer artists actually feels quite natural, as throughout his entire career he's been rapping on some of the most experimental hip-hop instrumentals. And so these newer artists are kind of like the next generation of that same mindset, even if they're not directly tied to hip-hop. And looking at the individual tracks on the album, the one that stood out to me the most was 1999 with Janascus, as it opens with a typical chaotic Danny Brown verse over a fried, really fast-paced synth pattern. But once Janascus steps in, the energy of the song really starts to shift as it morphs into a cyber-apocalyptic meltdown, with him basically just losing his mind and unraveling over the beat. And then Danny returns with his second verse soaked in hopelessness and societal collapse, as he fully starts to lean into the track's core theme, which is the Y2K paranoia. The idea that the world was going to end in 1999, and the track being filled with that sort of digital dystopian imagery. And by the time the song reaches its outro, it fully transitions into hardcore techno, with the beat fully glitching out and the artist sounding like they've completely lost their minds, trapped in this eternal digital hellscape. And that's just one song off of this project, and I feel like this album will go down as a classic, as in the future we'll probably look back at this moment where one of hip-hop's most experimental veterans linked up with the newer generation that were inspired by his sound and are carrying that same torch. But simultaneously, Danny Brown showed that he can still push the envelope right alongside them.
Tell me who you wanna be. Rap star, pop star, rock star, give me that rap star, pop star, rock star, give me that rap star, pop star, rock star, give me that. Come by it honestly, what the hell is wrong with me?
Ain't merged on my tune with two left feet. Everybody love me, only love myself. So they all want me like a bump off a key. Everybody know me, but I'm losing myself. All I ever wanted was to be like you, so I'm doing that too. Worldwide superstar, fuck who you are with that new sports car. Dance with the stars in my walk on the moon, got my head in the...
Danny Brown just dropped his 6th studio album Stardust last night, so let me give you my honest thoughts. Production-wise, this is Danny's most experimental album to date, with a lot of experimental hyperpop-esque beats, which can be seen on tracks like 1999 and Whatever the Case, which are full of impeccable energy. We also get a hint of house/dance music on Lift You Up, which has a super infectious vibe that makes me want to enter flow state on the dance floor. But we also see Danny gear more towards the introspective side of things, which can be seen on the 2 tracks with Quadeca, where Danny's lyricism is next level, talking about a sobriety journey after struggling with addiction for years. These 2 heartfelt songs are accompanied by heavenly vocals from Quadeca in addition. Every single feature on this album more than delivered, with each perpetrator delivering their own unique cadence that help add to the overall appeal of those specific songs. Danny Brown has constructed one of the best catalogs in all of hip-hop over the last 15 years, in what has been a super strong year for hip-hop, with countless amazing projects dropping in 2025. Stardust is one of the better hip-hop releases of the year, and gets an 8 out of 10 from me.
I wanna know what you see.
Oh my God! I can't believe this. Yo, I can't believe this. Yo, I cannot believe this. Oh my God! I can't believe this. Yo, I can't believe this. Yo, I cannot.
So Danny Brown just dropped a project called Stardust. This is Danny Brown's first album sober, and he has an intro, Book of Daniel, which is pretty introspective, and he talks about how him, Rose Sweatshirt, and somebody else are in the big 3, which I know JPEG Mafia didn't like that line. Then follows up with the track Starburst, which feels inaccessible in a way of like Atrocity Exhibition, but more so a recent version of that. And it's a pretty good track. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me as I listened to it more and more. Then follows up with the track Copycats, which has underscores as a feature and production on the track. And it reminds me of some old Danny Brown when he had a song with Gorillaz called Submission, I'm pretty sure is what's called. By the way, this album I feel like is the most easily accessible out of all his records. I feel like if I wanted to put somebody onto Danny Brown, it would be this record right here. There are 2 songs I didn't expect on this album that came on this album, which one of them is Lift You Up, which feels like a house record that was produced by Daft Punk. The other one being The End, because it's a breakcore record. It's introspective as well, but it's like an 8-minute track. I didn't expect Danny Brown to be able to make a record like that. The only track I didn't like off this album was a song that has fentanyl on it, which I was trying to give them a chance, but I really just don't like that song, to be honest. I don't know what it is about it, but overall, I'll give this album an 8 out of 10. Transition. Did you give this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What'd you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. Why should you next? Hey, like if you like, please subscribe, please subscribe, hit the bell as well. And Danny Brown, Cloud, forever.